one of the reasons, or my interest is that how this so-called nectar principle is applied to ecology, at least from the side of observation. I don't know about too much about the deeper part. So then I introduce ecological side. Then we might have some analogy in this type of study, and also a future approach. And so then this talk is like somehow society and ecological systems, and then probably I will appear some sessions, then so maybe 4 times. So then first one is this one, second maybe relate to humans, but I really don't know about humans, but at least some overlapping part between humans and ecology, maybe human ecology, and then evolution, and then environment. So that I really appreciate to give me this chance to think of ecology as a future aspect. Okay, now I go to history. We didn't discuss about it, but like I put some time on the history. For me, my impression is rather so idea and empiricism. So somehow my impression is rather close to idea, but somehow in biological way, at least to me, rather empiricism. Then long time passed, it's like a Greek word, before Christ. Then there are some observations with experience. Then Francis Bacon found deductive method. I think Francis is a really great man. That's like way over 10,000 years. Then experience. And suddenly they find many things and microscopes. The small things they find. So I felt it's like an analogy, expansion. They find this and this and. So expansion is rather easy to observe, at least to me. Then also one side is population growth. So they watch how many flies lay the eggs, then very quickly grow, so that the geometric growth has a problem on our land, Malthus. So that has some big thinking. So summarize, we observe many things, sort of convergence just then. If I'm wrong, tell me later. Okay. Then the other way around, then somehow, then all physical mechanisms, engineering, and big industrial economic development. Okay. Then pollution. Then ecosystem crisis, then future of our ecosystem. That's one big line for the ecological side. The other one is, again, more theoretically, like natural control, struggle, and the variability, then evolution. So then evolution seems one big point. So somehow related to emergence. So, you know, Plato, perception and ideas. I put Plato is a rather like a bottom part. Okay, then Francis Bacon. I think we've got the same person. So then. It is, I think, really important. There is something outside there. Then, careful observation events in nature. That's very important. That's 17th century. I think he's already important, but very strongly evaluated in the scientific development. Then a lot of discovery. William Harvey for heart. Heart is just a machine pumping. And Anton Leeuwenhoek, microscope, and Linne, all the names of plants, and the Schleid and Schumann cell theory expanded out lots of knowledge together. Then Lubenock, this is a picture of microscope, and also Robert Hooke has a microscope. Then, that this is like real part of morphological observations, small to large objective. Then the other group, they watched, how population grows. So since population grows, they have some like a mathematical, at least counting. So Gront, Leeuwenhoek, and Buffon, and so he Gront checked the life tables, when they, in the death rate, so-called the bills of mortality. And Leeuwenhoek is also a great guy. Leeuwenhoek invented microscope. He also carefully observed the flies. So it's one example. And then he observed very carefully. Then in 3 months, he counted one by one, 746,496 animals. So he observed, it grows very quickly. So 2 important things are found, and the Leeuwenhoek's involved. He's really, really great in the biology and ecology. Cell biology by inventing microscope, and counting crane flies, inventing ecology. Then Buffon is like, there are some kind of checking methods, okay? You may not grow easily. Then Robert Malthus and Thomas Doubleday, and I don't explain, you already know, so that it is just big thinking that we are in danger because we have the potential, although it's from spirit or not, the living organism potential, living grows very, very quickly. So otherwise, there's no control, we will perish eventually. And Doubleday is now more carefully calculate how we could predict or more objectively checking population growth. And then Quetelet and Fulst Farr all are well known the mathematical biology. So like body mass index, both logistic curve, and Locke and Volterra and Prairie data. Then the evolutions, Charles Darwin, and Mendel is genetics. It is really amazing year for biology. 1859 and 1865, a great person evolution and great person genetics together. It's big time, 1865. And Hugo de Vries Muller is a contribution of biological mutation and the rediscovery of Mendel's law and Muller. Without Muller, Mendel's law would not be known to the public. And Watson and Crick, they found the genes. Okay, so, and then Rachel Lewis Carlson, so Silent Spring. That's another big thing. Then we may have no spring because of the pollution. Then some examples is Itai disease came. So there's also some dark history of ecological science. So then, now we go back. So then, somehow to me, to the impression is that one way of theoretical is going to evolution concept, and then the other way going to somehow we worry about the ecosystems. Then, eventually, what did evolution does? So it is mainly struggle. You fight each other, the fittest would survive, but somehow in the past, it is the divine harmony, because it's in harmony, based on some spirituality of the God. Somehow it changed to struggle and variability. So, if you look at this one, do you think it's beautiful or not beautiful? Or you think the sunrise over the sea in the morning, you think it's beautiful. You say beautiful. You don't think it is very dirty. So why you happen to say it's very beautiful? But yet, if you look at the bird on the pole, the bird is on the pole and the line like this. Why do that? Bird seems struggles because he put on the line, electrical line, the electron shakes. Okay, so he should not drop. At the same time, watch, because maybe the what is it called? The eagle can pick it up. So it is like struggle, and then the other bird comes this way, big distance. So, to me at least, some kind of thinking, the way of thinking changed. We used to think is harmony. The nature is harmony, some from the divinity or some from some spiritual harmony. But through this way of evolutionary thinking, it looks beautiful, but it's a balance through struggle. There is so much effort and blood, and that it looks beautiful. So that's somehow the change it. At least to my impression. Then, okay, so that is one thinking in the way of the scientific courses. Then now, I can think how I can link to this big flow in the ecological side. Of course, I will not be just a small part, but at least I can give some ideas. Then, at least objectively, I think, we think about energy partitioning, and it has energy, it metabolizes. And then in ecology, you may consider as energy quality. It's different from energy quality like electric energy and the kinetic energy. The quality is like higher, some kind of lower levels. Then some complexity and the sustainability of the system. So say, okay, sorry about the not good slides. I just used the Alden Barrett's textbook, but it's rather self-explanatory. You have sunlight, sun comes in on the leaf, and they mostly reflect somehow using heat, okay? And those heat is used by plants. They use some chemical process, electric chemical process. It becomes the biological energy. Then that is interesting. Sorry, again the slide. This is UV, visual light. Visual light is again very small range. This very small range only works for Earth and only works for plant to make carbohydrate. Why not hold this higher, long wavelengths and short wavelengths? If it is short wavelengths, it's dangerous. It will destroy the cell and the biological molecules, gamma ray, X-ray. And it is a low level, it is not too much effective. So at this very low range, it is biologically active to some molecules to be active. Is this strange? Very, very small range. And then this shows that the UV light only comes to the land. Of course, high energy will be screened by the ozone layers. Also, lower range in the with the cloud, it is screened. That's why you feel cool. It is cloud because wave of heat wave, like microwave, is screened. So only, not for activity, also about availability is also available. So then how we can explain with evolution theory, also very interesting. And then energy distribution shows that usually high energy, okay, is where the land and the water meet, like a river, the high energy. Then no wonder all the cities are formed along the river. Okay, so the energy is important. Then culture is formed from the river watershed area. No wonder, because energy was available and the plants were produced and the culture was formed. Within the culture, science also is formed. So then more logically, according to physical law, the energy is going down, like is a rice or plant, and this is like a grasshopper, and grass eaten by some sparrows, then going down, okay? So it obeys energy dissipation law and entropy law. Then called the gross primary production, net primary production, secondary productivity. You don't worry about too much the term, but this gives the source of energy. We use to have the bread and rice. Okay, then like pyramids, so it's going to smaller, okay, amount. Then in the worldwide, you can see net primary productivity. So you can see that very low level in the ocean and some higher level in tropical area and so forth. So that this overall is the provision of energy that human culture can be arising. Then Howard Odum invented emergy. Emergy is embodied in the energy. It's like 1 gram of cow is different from 1 gram of rice, because cow eat rice and plant, then it produce its flesh. So usually 10 times more. So then although its actual physical energy calories same, but ecologically, cow's 1 gram is 10 times more valuable than plants, etc., etc. So that is concept. Then this more elaborated called exergy is some calculation, the more ecologically applicable, but of course all of them agree on that. But this is very important. You can evaluate the quality, then it can be an ecological currency. It's very important. When you have practically, when you have international negotiations, you can count what is Yangtze River's exergy and what is the Keys River's exergy. Oh, then your x is higher. Let's say 1 to 2 ratio, okay? So So the smart or important ecologists invent their own ecological courage. It can contribute to things make objective. So the reason why I saw the pyramid, so it's higher in the pyramid, it is higher quality of quality. Then, usually body mass is higher efficiency, I should say. Then, it's interestingly, if you have higher levels, again, you can see, sorry again, then the sunlight is rather low, then fog is higher, and this is source energies again, and increasing in the higher levels. And this one, interestingly, at lower level, usually size is small, and the higher level, size is large and big. The size, somehow size is related to energy. Energy transference. So this shows again the energy price. But one thing that is strange, I watched in the movie in the Ghost, you know Ghost. Ghosts usually say, I come here to destroy you, and high frequency voice. But God, oh, the universe is beautiful, and you are very nice. I will give you lots of general things. The God usually not say, oh, I come here to give you lots of things. So somehow, it is our perception, I don't know, but why the God or bigger guy has keep low voice, while you are little only less and higher frequency sound. But at least we can say some analogy. Maybe some transference rule can be applied. Okay, so that somehow quality make some sense. Then complexity. Then usually it's said that there is nothing really free, right? If you have scale is large, diminishing return. Scale large, quality, stability is higher, but more high cost to pump up, so-called this economics of scale. And city, you have good systems, but also like good. There are many things good. You can earn more money, but the higher transportation, mass employment, employee sickness, higher maintenance, and then you cost it. So you kind of trade off. Then we try to avoid some sudden destruction of cities or ecosystems, like you worry. That you try to be wise, then you worry about what is maximum carrying capacity, don't do that, and like about optimal density, lower levels. Then the other one is the Gaia hypothesis that in turn, the living organism change the environment. So one example is Earth is composition of carbon dioxide and nitrogen is currently nitrogen is majority and oxygen. But Mars and Venus beside the Earth, like carbon dioxide is much higher. So if Earth without life was similar. But with life, it was changed. So this also may be important. Okay, so then that's okay. Then we come to what are human ecosystems. So again, I explained before, is energy constrained. Like although human has very delicate things, mind and dreams and love, but the humans must eat food. So it's energy constraints. Then in terms of energy, developed muscle power, fossil fuel, atomic energy, higher level, and then the energy flow, like 1,000, no technology, but fuel-powered urban 100,000, so about 10 times more energy requiring process. Then human ecosystem is expensive, takai. Okay? And then also produce a lot of bad things. Then we must be very careful. Then the other thing is this one. Really, is not the details not really, you don't have to worry about it. So, like this is world economy, then economic conversion, like a natural ecosystem, mountains and lands, domestic ecosystem, agriculture, and some technological companies, okay? Then this is money. So energy and money counterflows, okay? So that is important. Another important one, although agriculture and the industry has the money flow, here no money flow. But now we must pay because we have a benefit from that ecosystem. There must be money flow. That's ecological duty. And then pay more attention to ecosystems and more budget, government budget, to take care of the natural ecosystems. Then, how manage some basic principles, like you consider the system. This is rather, you said feedback is rather simple, okay? But this feedback is actually sort of independent and control each other. So to tell the story short, ecology is like this system. Many self-organizing systems there, and then they try to maintain or they try to fight each other. And then when the stress comes, the response is down, then the degree of decrease is called resistance, okay? Okay, so it's short decrease is high resistance. But also another very important is how much quickly you recover, okay? This is resilience. If you quickly recover, it's high resilience. So you can consider resistance together. Then try to maintain this system is like you grow and you have a certain level. It's called the carrying capacity. So this is equilibrium. Then this equilibrium is very important. But this is not really peaceful because, as I said before, there is a tendency of population growth try to shoot up. Whenever shoot up, it pushes down. Okay, they're called environmental resistance. So it's not really feasible, okay? Like a wave, up and down, okay? If you lose a certain thing, it immediately go up, okay? Then somehow you adjust your expenditure, you maintain, so-called economic welfare. You maintain this one. So that try to be wise and then optimized. And then ecological footprint, we worry about that. Human demand on nature, and also similarly, you have a concept, ecosystem health. Somehow you diagnose as in a system, but there are many variables, and you define some metric and diagnose how the health is that simplicity as a communication tool, because objectively we can compare, but also this Wikipedia it also says that policymakers and public made it simple, but it may have some misunderstanding, and be careful to have a health score. Then ecosystem service is just all kinds of service. You can have some benefit from ecosystems. Okay, so just remember, ecosystem services, ecosystem health, and ecological footprints are quite related to management of human ecosystems. Okay, then I did, many times showed, then important one is information sharing. In order to, the society has to pay more attention to ecosystems and then try to yield more to ecosystem is called altruism. If you want to have altruism feedback more properly, you give more information. So that now we have ICT like mobile, robots, and sensor networks, or ICT. If you give more information and more attention to ecosystems, supposing that in your iPhone, you have all the animals in the Kiz rivers you can see easily, like you have friends, I think is very, very, very effective for the government to increase the budget for ecosystem management. So we can use the high techniques. Okay, I'll skip. Then, very carefully, when I discussed with Professor Murase, is very carefully, I tried how his so-called NECTEC can be applied to ecological side. So for me again, it's so difficult. Okay, although you say very carefully, if it's written in mathematical equation, rather, although it's still difficult, I can understand, but sometimes it look like that, But one key issue to impression to me is somehow more close to idea, Plato's side, but not all the way. You said inducted together, but you include the idea, okay? That was one hint to me. The other one is expansion. If you look at very closely, there are suddenly many findings, okay? Then this is not the evolution itself. You explain the evolution mechanism analogous to nectar, but for me, evolution concept, how can be analogous to nectar principle. So that somehow negation to me is, I don't know, sudden increase. So right before sudden increase, there's nothing. So somehow discreteness, some emptiness. That's my impression. So somehow sudden, long time. Everyone knows the sunrise yesterday, sunlight tomorrow, the sun will tomorrow. But only Francis Bacon says that. You must think very carefully. Then it may be emergence, but it started to people think, look at the carefully with the small, with the microscope, carefully with the universe, etc. So there are sudden many findings. Expansion. Then Malthus, this big guy, he looked at very carefully. He sort of abstract, it converts. Rubeniuk shows many things, I see many things. Population has a tendency of geometric growth, but food are only arithmetically decreasing. So it's fundamentally dangerous. So he concludes somehow. That's sort of, to me, like a convergence, like all the experiments go together. Then evolution is like a very solid idea, like one single clear idea. So it looks like already everybody think about many things together, but after Charles Darwin wrote the Earth Space, everybody was surprised, and the father and son fight. Father believes in God, and son believes in evolution. They fight, and they don't eat dinner together. Okay, suddenly it makes difference. So that looks emerged. Then transference most difficult to me. So that Professor Murase says it has some relationships with harmony, so together. So all some kind of things like the concept like fitting together each other, or some kind of analogy. So that is concept natural control, struggle and variability. So then one somehow concept evolution is somehow this way. If this is tentative, but then I will study more. Huh? Okay, and futurology, I just learned yesterday, so it's nice. What is likely to continue and what could plausibly change? That we will, I think, work together. Discussion, integral thinking, the ecosystem sustainability, finding expense, we can read, okay? And then this one, maybe this last one. I know the conflict is allowing variability in population. Sometimes nice, although it's painful, but it moves, giving the chance of variability. And sudden change, you may die, but you may in the heaven jump in space and time. And paradox and trade-off, you have harmony, disharmony, cosmos, but you have balance, collapse, chaos through struggle. So it is like you have some freedom of thinking that always there are another side. Thank you.